Hi everyone, welcome to Covert CEO. I am Tim, and today we're going to go for a ride in my Jeep Gladiator. I've been working on this Jeep for a year now, and I've built a lot of things myself. I've wired everything, so I want to show you what I've come up with, and let's go for a ride. Let's get started from the front. Whenever I purchased a Jeep, it came with the halogen headlights, and they really aren't great. They're not that good. I was used from having my JK to having the LED headlights, so I purchased these through Oxbeam, and they seem to be great. I haven't had any trouble with those at all. They reach out. I also went with the amber fog lights, which they've been great. I've had them a couple times in the snow, fog, and rain, and they're doing exactly what I want them to do so far. And for my bumper, I went with the ARB bumper, and it's a stubby one. I like the design of it. I like the way it both had the open hooks here, and you could put your normal hitches there. And I like everything about that. And what I look for in the stubby bumper is I want it to stick out far enough if I need to push something away, it's not gonna get into my grill and everything whenever I'm off-road. So the way this one sticks out, I like it. And we'll see. This is the first time I've ran an actual stubby bumper, but I'm liking it. And for the antenna, I chose the Midland. I have the 50-watt Midland radio in here anyway, so I decided to go with their Overland antenna to see how it goes. Not sure if I'm going to stay this route. I don't like as tall as this one sticks up, but we have tested it out here. We've got about 20 miles range on it so far. It's the best that we've done. But it was a pretty open area with just a couple hills. So we're gonna continue to test this, and that was with another 50-watt radio. So I'll let you know how that goes. I also changed out the turn signals. I like these LED turn signals, and they're slightly smoked. I like the design of those, and they've been doing good so far. Moving on down to the side, I went with the AEV snorkel. I like that design. I liked it. It was a little nerve-wracking when I first had to cut the hood to install it, but once I got past that part, the rest of the install went really well, and I just like it. It kind of has a growl sound whenever you're going down the highway with it too, which is kind of cool. You can hear the air coming in up here, so I've been happy with that. I went with a roof rack. I think this is Hook Road roof rack, and I purchased it originally so I'd have a spot to mount my Starlink, which I have is the only thing I have mounted to the rack. It's been doing its job so far, and it's been a good hefty rack. It hasn't made any noise or rattling or anything like that, so I'm happy with that. And if you guys watched my window video, I had taken some Molly panels that were designed for a tailgate, and I mounted them up here to be able to haul my dogs, for them to be able to travel with me safely, give them enough ventilation, and keep them inside the vehicle. And these are just the fake panels I found on Amazon. I thought it matched this really well. And then I went with the window shades to where it would allow me to have the windows down a little bit when it's raining without the rain being able to actually come in. And they've held on here. They were an inexpensive brand, so I was kind of worried about them at first, but I also didn't know if I was going to like having window shades on there, and I actually do, and they've held up. They haven't came off at all, and now we've went through all the temperatures. They've been on extreme heat and cold, so they've hung on. Next, I use the Nature Nest. This is the portable shower. This thing has worked great. It's just a shower tent. It's done its job. It's held up. The zippers on there haven't gave me any trouble. And I just mounted it directly to the Top Oak tent. The Top Oak tent has a really good mounting system for their brackets. So I ordered the same brackets that they sell for their awning, and I used it to mount this Nature Nest on the side of it. And I like it because it keeps it up closer to the tent that it's mounted on. And it's been the perfect height for a shower, that it's just tall enough the way I like it. And then I got some more aux beam floodlights here on the side, the LED. I chose them for more of a scene light. They can light up this area out here if I'm working out here or off-road. It gives me some spotlight out, going out this range if I need it. And I separate them. I separate them where you can just have the left side, the right side, or both sides on. So that's been handy for that. And of course, everyone has traction boards, so I have traction boards as well. This is where I decided to mount them. In the back here, I went with the LED light bar. I do have a K9 with me. He's a bomb dog. Sometimes we have to go to places and park to where I don't want someone to run over us. Plus, it works good as an off-road light, just as a marker light. Whenever you're four-wheeling with someone in the dust, you can turn this on. They're able to see. It's just an amber light, so it works out perfect for that. As far as the topper goes, I actually got this topper off of a Facebook Marketplace. A guy had bought it. He was actually selling his truck, so he wanted to get some money out of the topper, so I bought it. For my awning, I chose the Top Oak awning just because I have the Top Oak tent as well. And I like it because the brackets, again, that came on the Top Oak tent and this make it fit really close to the vehicle. I didn't want it to where the awning would stick out a long ways and take away from some of my trail clearance. So this has been a really great awning. I've done separate videos on the awning and the tent, and I'm really happy with it. On this side's another scene light, and of course this topper again. Let's get inside the topper. I carry the Demos shovel up here. This seems to be an easy location in case I need to reach it and get to it quickly. I keep a bottle of bear spray here on the side in case we needed some bear spray if a bear approached our campsite. Everyone knows that it's mounted right here on the side of this lid, so it'll be quick to get. And these are both just first aid kits. This one actually is just rubber gloves only. So this whole packet is full of rubber gloves. And this one's the actual first aid kit. It's just a general first aid kit. It's quick to grab in case we need it, but it stocks everything that you would need in a hurry. Anything from combat gauze to tourniquets to even EpiPen. Any kind of medical emergency that we might run into that you need something quick. This is my quick go-to bag, and it even has chest seals and things like that in here as well, along with some heavy-duty gauze. So this is just a quick pack that I can grab off the side that if I need a first aid kit in an emergency. As far as paper towels go, I like to use these mechanic style paper towels. They just seem to be a lot more observant. I have my propane tank up here. I have a sprayer which reaches out 25 feet so I can get out there and do dishes and use it for anything that I need water for. And then I run another water filter through it right there just to make sure the water coming in is clean. There I have my water fill where I filled my fresh water up, and also an air vent to let it vent while it's being filled up. Right below it back there, you can see where the pump is, followed by the filter, and then the hose. You can see the water fill here. And that's all I use to fill up my water tank. You can see the tank is really small. It's 21 gallons, but you can't even tell it's really in there. It's such a small tank. I'm really impressed with it. Then I have buttons here on the side which can control the side lights. I can have them both on at the same time on the floodlights, or I can have them both shut off or just one or the other on. You can see how much room that the water tank actually takes up. Next to the side there, it takes up hardly any at all. And those are the Goldmate, two of the Goldmate Orion 1000 batteries. On this back wall is where my jet boil is, and this is a spare propane tank that also works out well whenever I'm using my propane fire kit. And then I put outlets on both sides so I can have USB outlet here, or USB's outlets here, and also a 12-volt outlet. This is a good option to have here with the pigtails, so it's a quick way to be able to plug something in like my diesel heater. So I have my fishing kit, and I keep a normal rod and reel along with a fly rod and reel and a net. On the back here is a mountain hatch tailgate table. I'm really happy with it. It's been a great table. It's handy. You wouldn't think how much you'd use it till you get it. So it's been a good addition. I keep chairs off here to the side. It just seems to be a good place to tuck them. And then I keep a fire poker here for whenever I'm out at the center of the campfire. I have a way to move the logs around. And I keep a fire blanket here just because fire blankets are handy to have. On this side right now is just my Dometic bottle, my coffee kit. You can see the way I made these sliders. Again, it's just a piece of board, and I put these little rollers on here that I found at Harbor Freight that allows it to roll on the bed. And then the biggest secret if you're going to do this project is making sure you space it with the bed. The way the ribs are in the bed, you have to have it to where the ribs will stick up in between those. Otherwise, that system won't work. And then I just mounted a handle, and I mounted a couple of deals for straps on there. Then I found some old, these are actually window frames that I took apart. So I used this channel from the window frame to be able to hold this to where that's able to slide on there. Now what's supposed to be in here is my refrigerator. I did a video a while back about the problems I've been having with the refrigerators. So I have to be able to find a refrigerator that's going to fit in here and be able to open up from the top to where we can access it from the side. My coffee kit is pretty simple. I've talked about it before. I buy these sealable bags through Amazon. You can put anything you want in them. I put coffee beans. I got two different blends. I write on here, this is a sweeter blend and this is a dark roast. So basically, if I want something in the morning like a breakfast coffee, I can do that. This is my coffee grinder. Very happy with it. It was given to me as a gift and it's been great. I love it. Then I have my jet boil, which also houses the French press for the coffee inside there. So that works out perfect for that. It also has a burner inside there. So that works out good for coffee. If you guys have any suggestions on a refrigerator, let me know. I'm in the market for one. Just been having a tough time finding one that, and I wouldn't think it would be that bad riding back here in the back of this cab. I could see maybe if it was more open air, it would be tougher on it, but they just keep breaking. So let me know what you know. I like these Overland storage boxes, the Overland vehicle system storage box. They worked out good. They're lightweight. In here, as I said before, I have a bunch of these peak meals on this side. This is actually dog food for my dogs. Then I have a bunch of dry goods, rice, and some condiments as well. Of course, a bunch of beef jerky. I have just about 1 week's worth of food there. On this side, it's all kitchen stuff. It's for washing dishes. Then I put everything in here to organize by bags. Here's just all plastic bags and trash bags. And same thing, this one's just all kitchen utensils. This is my pump for my Dometic. I really love the system with that. Another little jet boil pot. So I keep all that type of stuff in here, along with coffee cups, everything that's going to be needed. Last year went with these metal trays for eating. These are really handy. I like the way they separate the food and everything. So that's been great. And I'll talk about my fire kit. My recovery bag's very simple. I have the soft shackles on this side. This is just an old range bag. I just converted into it. Got my toe straps in here, along with my tree straps. Also have a snatch block in there as well. And I have this snatch block as well, more of a heavy duty one. So that's everything that is in my recovery bag. It's just really simple, easy to grab. My airbag is made for tire repair, so I have a heavy duty tire repair kit here. I like these because they're just steel and they're just, they seem like they're just more heavy duty to use. I've used them a couple times to repair tires and it worked really well. I was impressed with them. Of course, a bunch of valve stems, little thing I can run on my air compressor to blow out things. Tire gauges. Just everything I need for a tire repair lives in here. And I have my firebox. Firebox is everything that I need with fire. I carry, this here is just different lighters. I got a little USB pump, air pump that I'll use as a fan that will help fuel the fire. Just got a bunch of, like I said, just everything you can think of to start a fire. Ferro rods, down to lighters, to a bunch of Bic lighters, just like I said, everything that you need for a fire. I got butane that I use in my butane torches and cigar lighters. I have some charcoal fuel for whenever we're using charcoal. This little pan here is really handy to cook things in. And this whole bag here is nothing but charcoal in it. And I have some more fire starters as well, along with spare propane bottles and butane bottles. At the front, next to the water tank, I carry an axe. And on this side, I carry bolt cutters. I wired up some red trailer lights back here to serve in the cargo. Also mounted this lattice, it's plastic lattice. It's a lot like molly panels. I mounted it to the ceiling, and I also mounted it to the very front wall as well to be able to hang stuff on, and it's worked out really great for that. So if you want cheap molly panels, plastic lattice works out really, really well. Inside here is my Red Arc DC to DC charger. It's what keeps the dual battery system charged up. Then I got like a kill switch to where I can throw this kill switch and just turn everything off at the same time. This fuse block here actually is a 60 amp, which is the same as the DC charger, so it's set up for that. These are all charging ports with USB and USB-C. So all my equipment I have, I can rest it here on this rack and I'm able to recharge everything. And each thing I have everything wired up to a circuit breaker, and then that last circuit breaker, which is turned off right now, is a circuit breaker for all the wires that go up inside the tent. So Whenever I'm not using the tent, I can go ahead and kill all the power that goes up to the top of it. And then I have a 1500 watt inverter up here to where I can plug in normal things, and we've even ran a hair dryer off it before, so it does a good job. It's a good inverter. Looking over here to this side, I'm going to have my DeWalt chainsaw. I like always keeping a chainsaw with me. And then I have a fire pit up here, over here. Inside the truck here, you can see this is where the dogs hang out. I made my own board back here for them. Hi, Striker. Hi, Maduro. Let's go. Inside the Jeep, I have a fire extinguisher. I have one of the Streamlight flashlights, followed by the weBoost, another first aid kit, and another flashlight. I mounted a molly panel up here at the ceiling, and that's where I can keep my air kit for the Kraken. But more importantly, I put some life vests up here, and the reason I put those up here is in case of an emergency to where maybe we were doing a water crossing or we got caught up in a flash flood, and if we had to get out of the vehicle and evacuate, we would be able to put some life vests on for time of rescue. For ease of cleaning, I use the Kong mats in here. They're very comfortable. They're full of foam. Then there's just the anti-fatigue mat. You can see the platform that I have made for the rear seat delete. I just built my own rear seat delete. Underneath that is another trap door where I can store stuff. You can see I mount my Midland radio back here. And it's just plenty of storage area for just anything that I want to put in there. I just try to make sure I don't fill it up. For this, I made it really simple. I'm not great at cutting straight lines, you can tell, but I just put a piece of dog leash there and screwed it up there so I'd have something to grab a hold and open it up with. Otto. I do not like the net that comes with the Jeep store panels, so I put on these metal ones. There's all kinds of different brands you can find, but it makes for a good solid storage area. This is a kill switch I made for the switch system, and there's part of the Kraken system to where I can inflate my tires over on the driver's side. Here's what the passenger side looks like. This is the Kraken system for my to air up my tires and deflate them too. I also have the Bluetooth option with it to where I can use my phone to control the air pressure and everything for the Kraken system, which I thought that was pretty neat. Here's what everything looks like from the passenger side. And I put another outlet up here so my passenger can charge. I put another ball mount here in case I want to mount something from the roof. You can see how much room the dogs have in the back. Up here, I ordered the chromoly mounting system. This is where I keep the GMRS radios up here. Also, I made my own light. I think these were actually designed for side-by-sides. I like it because it has both a white light and a red light. Up here is just a scanner. And I went ahead and went with the Molly panel sun visors as well. And this is my dash cam. I have it whenever I start my vehicle. I have it to where it comes on automatically whenever you turn the Jeep on. It's made by Red Tiger. And I like it. It seems to have really good video with it. I've been using it now for a year. Everything's been fine, but I like it because after it's on for a few seconds, it'll go dark, so it doesn't continuously light up the inside of the vehicle. But since I can't see out my back window with the way this setup is, I took down my rear view mirror and I used the hole that the mirror would mount on to go ahead and make a mount for this dash cam. Instead of having it stick to the window, I'm able to just mount it up through that hole. And then I ran the wire up through there. And then here on my Molly panel, I put another USB outlet there to where I can just plug it in there to where the wire's not ran too far away. So I like that feature because I can just route the power over to here to where it has a USB. So it works out really good. I'm happy with this chromoly system. I like the way that it sets up tight to the roof of the Jeep. Doesn't take up a lot of room at all. I also have the Hazard 4 headliners. These are handy. They have pockets in here where you can unzip them and store stuff in them. I don't really keep anything in them, but I do like the design of it. I do notice some sound dampening coming from that, so I think they did a good job with that. The only thing I didn't like about it was their Velcro. I ended up having to go with a different type of more industrial Velcro, then it worked fine. As far as the Jeep itself goes, I like the design of it. As I said before, I had the JK prior to this, so the JT, I have been happy with it. I did mount I found a spot here to go ahead and mount my mic from a Midland. This is the 50 watt GMRS radio. And yes, I did go ahead and apply for my GMRS radio license, and I got one. It's so cheap, I recommend you guys do the same. For the truck, I chose to mount an iPad in here for my mapping system and everything. I use Spotify for my stereo and for music and mapping system. I have a Zoleo that I can take out backpacking. It's great for whenever we get back in the country to where we lose our cell service. I have just a normal, just a GoPro style camera there. I've been happy with this mounting system by Bullet Point. It keeps everything organized here on the front. Then I've also been happy with the aux beam lights. This is also the remote control feature to where you can get away from there with Bluetooth if you choose to. You can see the dogs in the back. And I made this net to where I can quickly detach this net if I need to from this area. The way I have this set up is I have air as my Starlink, GPS is my cell phone booster, the cargo lights, the cargo, the side lights, the rear flashing lights, and the water. So that controls all my stuff that I need. And then I have a master kill switch that you saw by the seats. So once I hit it, it turns everything off. So nothing is sending out a signal at all. As far as the top goes, I mounted a solar panel on the very top. And this is where I chose to put my weBoost antenna. I like it because I can keep it collapsed there. If I get to an area where I need my cell phone booster, I'll raise it up at that point. The weBoost antenna, I just put this band over the top of it. Well, I put it to where I can undo it. And then I can stand the weBoost antenna up if I need to. All right, so what's left to do with this Jeep? Wheels and tires. I've waited a long time before I've done this. This is still the ones that came out with the factory, the 33-inch Falcons, and they have been doing really great. I've taken them a lot of places. I have my other Jeep, and it's been fun to build this thing. I've made a mistake on every other Jeep I've ever owned. The first thing I usually do is a lift kit and wheels and tires and go from there. But this time with the Gladiator, I decided to do it the opposite way. With my JK, I did the wheels, tires, and lift and found out the lift that I wanted wasn't the right lift, because after I started adding all this extra weight to the JK, it was really spongy. So this time I decided to put the weight that I'm going to have on the vehicle first, then look at a quality lift kit. And there's a couple of them I'm looking at right now. I'm in between a couple, but I want to make sure it's a very high quality lift kit that's going to be able to support my overland lifestyle and get the right one the first time. And then my wheels and tires, I'm not sure how far I'm going to go yet. I know I'm not going to go 40s. That's out of the question. I may do 37s, but I might just do 35s. I know if I do the 37s, I'm going to have to also re-gear it, which I'm fine with that as well. So we'll see on the wheels and tires, but definitely the next step that I'll be doing is a lift kit. So I hope you liked this video. If you got any value out of it, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.